Good morning, fine friends. Welcome to the Stokastic.com MLB strategy show / live before lock. 105 first pitch today. And yeah, we got an early slate. Really, it's the main slate. Only 3 games on the night slate. 5 games. So you're going 1 through like 345 or whatever it may be. Glad to be back. Glad to be with you guys. And little disclaimer here, just in case anyone is wondering, because Josh filled in Tuesday and Wednesday. We had no show on Monday. I was off through Wednesday. And I just reran the Sims, by the way. This possibly will be my last MLB show of the season. Fret not, Josh will take over. I know he's got some time off next week, but that's the first week of the NFL season. You should be dedicating the majority of your time to that, if only for a week. But this possibly will be my last MLB strategy show, MLB show of the season. It all depends on whether or not we have NFL data up today, or at the very worst, tomorrow morning. If that's the case, and we have week 1 NFL data up, right? Projections, ownership, top stacks tool, obviously everything within the Sims and all single lineup Sims and all that good stuff. If we have that up today, Greg and I are actually going to run a show tomorrow, NFL show week 1. We'll still have the MLB strategy show. It'll just be Josh handling that one, taking us into the weekend with a big Friday slate. So, yeah, man, just keep that in mind. And, you know, if nothing else, check out both of them. I know we're still, we'll still be more than a calendar week away from the week 1 slate, but there's no bet. Look, a lot of people will always tell you, like, hey, go easy on the week 1 slate. And I think there's probably, there could be at times something to that. But I also think, if you're ever going to try and establish an edge, if you've been someone that's paying attention to football all season long, there are things you're going to catch that just simply aren't represented in projections and stuff like that. That is the same with any sport. And then everything else will catch up. But yeah, let's get into some baseball today. I'll see you either here tomorrow or on the NFL show. We'll see which one it is. But yeah, Steven, thank you, sir. I took the kids and with a family to the Camden Aquarium on Monday. I think someone gave me a minor cold there. I don't feel great. We'll get over it. A little sore throat, decent amount of sneezing. Just don't feel good. It's cold. But anyway. Oh, I did want to shout something out too, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Very, very, very cool. We had the winner of the main event. The main event for MLB took 1st and 5th place. Stokastic sub with the avatar. I mean, just phenomenal stuff. Gizmo took down another 50K last week as well. I have to go back and find this somewhere. He DM'd me too. I don't think he'd mind me sharing this, but saying, I watch the strategy show every day, and you weren't here yesterday, but Josh killed it. So I was glad to say killed it on the day of the main event. I believe it was Tuesday. So it was really cool to see that. 830K. He chopped first. Josh actually messaged me, texted me, and he was like, dude, this guy chopped first, but they had 8 different players in the lineup, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts to chop first place in a 1,300 player field on a main Tuesday baseball slate with entirely different lineups. But nevertheless, 830K to a Stokastic avatar taking down the main event. What a way to close out the main part of the MLB season. So I was pretty stoked to see that. Anyway, we got the Sims run. I just reran it for those of you guys who are Sims subs. We just updated right before the show started, so keep that in mind. The big thing about this slate, and if you guys don't mind, take a single second this fine morning, atone for your sins, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, all of that stuff. Greatly appreciate you guys for it. Goes a very long way. Believe it or not, it does, and it's free. Yeah, Jay Nevy, big entry fee there. But also, there were a lot of satellites to get into that, a ton. I would guess a decent amount of people in that got in through satellites. You see that all the time. Austin, Crochet might have 15 Ks today looking at the Orioles lineup. Yeah, dude, listen, he is so expensive, but this guy is a preeminent pitcher in baseball. Absolutely fantastic. And, you know, it's hard to look at him and think that this isn't the best on paper pitcher on the slate. By the way, I couldn't help but laugh the other day. There were people complaining that Tarek Skubal's runs weren't earned when they should have been earned. And these are people who sell picks. Amazing stuff. Like, if you're selling picks, you should at the very least know what an earned and unearned run is, right? If you have two runners on and then another guy gets on, but nobody scores and he gets on by way of error, and then Skubal strikes out back-to-back hitters, that is the equivalent of 3 outs. Anything thereafter does not count as an earned run, even if he gives up a grand slam. I think it was Langoliers. Red Skittles. People who sell picks are scummy. See, that's not, like, it's not true. The scummy ones are the ones that are doing it, like, without knowing. Look, Eric Lindquist does it, and Eric's sharp. Like, he's killed baseball, man. If you've tailed Eric in baseball, you've done great. Guys like DK DFS, my boy Mitch, DFS and Donuts, he sells picks. The dude, every one of his bets is public on Pickett, and he's very profitable, right? Like, there's a lot of very profitable people out there. Ben is another one. Like, Ben's a super sharp guy. These guys who have premium subs and premium discords, there's some who are legitimately reliable and they track their bets, and you can't, even if they were losing and they track their bets, if you're paying for their picks, who cares, right? Like, they're full disclosure right there. They're not hiding anything from you. If they're hiding stuff from you and selling picks and only showing the massive screenshots while always hiding the times they lose, yeah, it's a problem. But nah, I wouldn't group them all into the same bucket at all. It's transparency that matters. Anyway, let's get into it. Crochet against Baltimore. If there's one thing we know about Baltimore, not only are they pretty bad, but against lefties this season, it's been a ghastly team, just terrible. You know, you've got this Baltimore team that comes into the season, people are thinking, hey, they could be pretty good. Maybe a young upstart team here with a lot of good young talent. Totally fell off the face of the earth. Not to mention, pitching on that team for the most part hasn't exactly been elite either. But you look at their active roster against lefties this year, they're bad. They are. This will blow your guys' mind, right? And understandably, injuries happen and teams look different throughout the year. And right now, of course, they have 3 notable players on the IL. But if you take their active roster right now, do you know what their WRC plus is? This is incredible. Miami's 81. Washington's 75. The Rays, who have been awful against lefties, are 75. Baltimore's active roster, WRC plus, is 65. That is 10 points worse than the next worst team. 109 ISO. Incredible. And a 261 WOBA, also dead last by 15 points. 26.6% K rate. Third worst in the league. Here's even more nuts. 5.6% walk rate. No team is below 6 other than Baltimore. So yes, this is a undeniably bad baseball team. Undeniably bad. So Crochet is expensive. He is. But he also has a near 50% top 2 pitcher probability in the top pitchers tool. 68% ownership. Quite frankly, on a 5-game slate, it's not even that much. It's just a really bad Baltimore team, man. And you start trying to think like, all right, well, how could this go wrong? There's always ways it could go wrong. Always. But look at that lineup. Like the bottom 6, Colton Cowser, Kobe Mayo, Dylan Carlson, Alex Jackson, Jeremiah Jackson batting second. Not great. Emmanuel Rivera. batting 5th. Is that right? Emmanuel Rivera batting 5th. Let's see what the K prop is on Crochet today. I mean, is it 8.5? I haven't looked. Realistically, you would think 8.5 for Garrett Crochet. And if it's 7.5, there absolutely has to be juice to the over. Let's see. Yeah, 8.5. Look at that. And it's minus 115 to the over on DK. He has an 8.5 K prop. He probably has an 18.5 outs prop. Yep. And then you're going to have a 1.5 earn runs prop. For sure. Yep. 1.5. So on paper, there is not a better pitcher than Garrett Crochet today. No doubt. Now, of course, do as you please. But it's a good spot. How many innings has Crochet pitched this year? I don't know, but he seems to be the one guy that hasn't been affected by it. 166 innings. So, it's a lot, but it's, look at his last 2 starts. He's still dominating. 7 innings back-to-back starts, 1 earned in both, 8 and 11 strikeouts. That was against the Yankees and Miami. Now you've got Baltimore. I mean, it really is as good of a matchup as you could possibly ask for. Can't ask for a better matchup than that. So I won't belabor the point here, but if you're saying who's the best pitcher on today's slate, and if you look at our exposure, my guess is that we still have a lot of Crochet. 63%. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Cade Povich right now is the guy we're getting the most of on the other side of this game against Boston. I mean, I can't say I feel great about that, and you guys can make adjustments on your own through ROI boost or exposure caps. You want to cap exposure on Povich to like 50% or something, you still 2x the field there. No problem with that. But not exactly the greatest lineup for Boston either. And you got day games, so you're going to see a lot of watered down lineups here. 4.9 total for Boston is pretty high. The Red Sox are what? Minus 206 money line favorites on the road, which is pretty crazy. Like the run line is minus 1.5 at minus 120 to Boston. So there's that, but Povich is cheap. There's nothing that's going to get you excited about him. You got the lefty-lefty matchup here. You've got a Boston team that on the season against lefties, their active roster, I should say, 92 WRC plus. Again, it's not great. It's 20th in the league, 25.2% K rate. That's 6th highest in baseball. 150 ISO is certainly better than this Baltimore team, but it's 16th. It's middle of the road. So, they've been average to below average with a top, 5 or 6 strikeout rate. That's definitely, there's definitely something there. And they've got guys on the IL too. This team isn't fully healthy at all. You got a power bat, or let's say a semi-power bat in Abreu, who's on the IL. I think Nate Lowe just hit the IL, right? Paternity. So he's not in the lineup. So it's definitely not as good a lineup as it typically would have been. Povich looks okay. The guy I want to talk about, and we're going to do this every single time we have the Rockies on the slate. What do we make of Jason Alexander? What do we do with Jason Alexander? So I was looking this up over his last 5 starts. It's actually a calendar month. Well, his last start was July 29th. But considering there's 31 days, yeah, the last calendar month. Alexander has a 22% K rate, allowing less than a home run per 9, 3.6 xFIP. And now he's got the Colorado Rockies today. He's a big home favorite in Houston at the Trop. Problem is his price point's a little high. They're minus 250 favorites. But I mean, this is still a Rockies team that has been the gift that keeps on giving for us all season long, right? We've been willing to overpay a little bit for pitchers. We've been willing to play, average pitchers at Coors Field against the Rockies. That's how bad they've been. And they just keep losing games. This is a terrible team, terrible offense. You look at them versus righties. Where do they rank? Okay, well, they are towards the bottom in every relevant metric that we're looking at for pitching. They're dead last in WRC plus, as a matter of fact. They're second in strikeout rate. They're dead last in walk rate by almost 1.5%, which is crazy this far into the season. All of those numbers are awful. And then you look at how do they do on the road away from Coors Field, right? 5.9% walk rate, 24.5% K rate. Again, top 5, 76 WRC plus, dead last. There's just no real redeeming qualities here outside of the fact that the Rockies have a little bit more pop than typical bad teams do. But when they're not hitting for a little bit of power, they're striking out. And this isn't like the same thing as the A's, where last year they had a bunch of pop and they were terrible. Oh, is it not the Trop anymore? What's it called? What's the Astro Stadium called? Dakin Park? Oh, I'm sorry. The Trop was Tampa Bay. I was thinking Minute Maid. Of course, you can understand the confusion there, right? You got Tropicana. You got Minute Maid. Well, we mixed them up for a second. Yeah, the Trop had an altercation with a hurricane. Good riddance. What a fucking terribly designed park that was. There should be no instance where a ball hitting the catwalk is a ground rule double. Yeah, okay, so it was Minute Maid. That's right. Minute Maid, Tropicana Field. You get that. Yeah, like Josh said, wrong orange juice. Yeah. We actually lived next to the Ocean Spray, the people that owned Ocean Spray, as a matter of fact, Ryan, in Ocean City, New Jersey. No longer the case. But yeah. Yeah, I've never been to the Trop. I never wanted to. Been to a few decent stadiums, but yeah, Minute Maid or whatever it is now, Dakin or whatever the hell it is. But yes, I think Jason Alexander, 18% ownership isn't all that crazy. Now, if you're looking at some of these other guys, Chrismat against Milwaukee, not something I'm looking to do here. It's just a good Milwaukee team. Miles Mikolas, it's a good matchup. It's a good matchup, but what does that actually do for us? Miles Mikolas has just been god-awful. Even in a spot like this, I think you're reaching. I wanted to come on the show today and be like, yeah, I think Miles Mikolas might actually be viable. His K rate is below 15% now. You know how hard it is to have a 5% walk rate and a sub 10% K minus BB rate? Guy's awful. His FIP is north of 5. He's, the issue you run into with a guy like Mikolas is no matter how many runs he's able to prevent, even if he gives up 2, you could be looking at 12 fantasy points. And who wants that? 12% barrel rate. All in all, he's having a bad year. Even you look at his xERA, it's 5.39. His swinging strike rate is a crisp 7%. It's really tough to get that much worse than that. Mavs. Now, I'm not. My dad had a house in Ocean City, New Jersey, but no, I'm in Bucks County, PA. Not too far, outside of Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm in Upper Bucks, PA. But anyway, Logan Webb's another one of these guys. He's 10K. He's getting less than half of the ownership of Crochet today. Not as good a matchup, obviously. This game in San Francisco, though. Right? So if you're in San Francisco, you're at least Oracle is one of the most pitcher-friendly venues out there. You have winds blowing out, but that park is designed to, mitigate the wind. 4-run total for the Cubs. Logan Webb's still getting ownership, but I never hate getting to a guy like this, especially when he's so much lower owned than everybody else. I know 30% seems like a lot, but when you look at 68 on Crochet, you're like, oh, okay, not that crazy. I still like Crochet the best, but $2,000 is a massive difference there. And Logan Webb's been awesome this year. This is a guy who always, you look at Logan Webb and you go, okay, he does an amazing job of keeping runners off the base paths. He doesn't, allow runs. Like last year, really fantastic stuff, but he was never a big strikeout guy. You look at him this year, he has taken his K rate from 20% in 2024. Mind you, that's no small sample. He pitched over 200 innings. 22.8% in 2023, pitched 216 innings. And then you look at him this year, you go, all right, well, has anything suffered as a result? No, his ERA, his xERA, his xFIP, his FIP, whatever you want to use, they're all lower than they've been the previous 2 years. And his strikeout rate is at 26%. Like his walk rate's lower than it was last year, yet his K rate is up 6%. His barrel rate's exactly where it's been. So you're taking someone, and typically it's a trade-off, right? Your K rate goes up. Maybe you start walking guys a little bit more. You become, a little bit, your control isn't as good as it was. But it's not the case. His swinging strike rate's up more than 2% than it was. K rate's up 6%. So you're talking about a guy here that's, really, really good. Really good. He went from really good to actually a fantastic DFS pitcher. When were you getting these 30-plus DraftKings point performances last year? He's got 2 over his last 4 starts, right? Ton of ground balls, and now a ton of strikeouts. These guys are kind of unicorns. There aren't a lot of them out there. Framber Valdez, Christopher Sanchez, Logan Webb. There aren't that many of them that exist. Now, granted, there's better pitchers than those guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you look at what he's capable of doing while generating a ton of ground balls, also pitching in a great park, I'm never one to rule out Logan Webb as someone that I want to get to quite a bit of. Do we have any of him today? Yeah, okay, so we're close to the field there. Crochet, 63, Logan Webb, 25, Povich, 80. What's interesting is that we're not really getting anybody else. Shota Imanaga, 15%. I'm cool with that. The problem with him is it's like, yeah, his strikeout stuff has been better recently, but he doesn't have a track record of racking up a ton of Ks over an extended period of time. The one guy I'd like to get a little bit more of is Jason Alexander. Just because the Rockies have been a real treat to us this season. I saw a couple of people mention Braxton Ashcraft. Yeah, I suppose you could look there at, what is he, 7,500? But to me, I would rather pay $500 more for Alexander, personally. Ashcraft coming off a solid start. He's been good. 65 pitches last time out. So maybe they ramp him up a little bit here. Could be nice. How many starts has he made? All right, so 20 appearances this year, 46 and 2/3 innings. 4 of those appearances were starts. 22% K rate. Yeah, I guess if you're looking for somebody at low ownership, because he's pretty low owned, but I don't think Jason Alexander's all that popular either. Prefer Alexander. Alexander's also been pretty good lately. K rate is up. limiting power, which is good. It's like the one way the Rockies can kind of give you a little bit of trouble is with power. But not enough power, I'll tell you that much. Not enough. St. Louis is pretty bad, though. Not a very good team. They don't offer much power at all. They just strike out quite a bit less than the Rockies. 22.6% against righties on their active roster. It's higher than you'd think, but it is that type of team that this year they're definitely fallen off a bit. Ryan, Quintana is a gross click, but eats innings every start. Yeah. It's just Arizona is the type of team that'll make you fight for every out. And I kind of hate that. Like, you look at Arizona against lefties, right? They have the lowest K rate in the entire league, 16.5%. But it's not just the K rate. They're 8th in WRC plus, 326 WOBA. They're 8th there as well. They're kind of one of those teams that makes you fight, and I don't love that. Austin, it's funny. I just took Quintana under 17.5 outs. Yeah, well, he's not a guy that racks up a lot of strikeouts. So in a spot like this, you just have to hope that Quintana is, that the ball's finding fielders. Remember, we talked about it a lot with Toronto, the Blue Jays, when they went into Coors Field, and it's like, man, this team, lowest overall strikeout rate in the entire league, going into a park that already suppresses strikeouts against pitchers, the whole, the trio of them that they faced at Coors, all of whom can't generate swings and misses, don't generate strikeouts. What's going to happen? Well, they're going to put the ball in play, and eventually it's just going to, the floodgates are going to open. And that's exactly what happened. Now, Quintana is a much better pitcher, right? Like than any of the guy, I don't know who it was, Freeland, Dollander, whoever they had out, Senzatella. I don't know who pitched in that series, but he's a better overall pitcher. There's no denying that. But also 16% strikeout rate on the season. 4.78 xFIP, 4.78 FIP. His xERA is north of 5. I just think we can do better there. If Arizona struck out a little bit, sure, but they don't. They don't. Check out EMAC's free article, by the way, Spotlight Pitchers and Top Stacks for the early and the main slate. EMAC putting in the work every single day, and he does it for free. Link is right there in the chat. He just posted it. Click that. Come back to it when the show's over. Just leave the tab open on your phone and on your laptop, whatever it may be. Any other pitchers you guys want to talk about here? I think we've pretty much covered it. Unless there's somebody I'm missing that you think looks better than I do. I don't know. I'd say that's pretty much where we land. If you like Ashcraft or Quintana, go for it. Not looking to get too much Kyle Freeland, Miles Michaelis. Like I said, Alexander, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more of than we have right now in the Sims. We're getting a lot of Povich. Here's our exposure within the Sims, by the way. Yeah. Povich, Crochet, Webb, 15% Imanaga. I'd like a little bit more Alexander there. My biggest question is the stack with Garrett and Webb. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can look to see if we have any of that. My guess is we don't have much. Here's what I can do. We can check. You want to check to see if we have it? Let's see. Lineup contains Crochet. Lineup. And lineup contains Webb. Let's see if there's any. There you go. 8 of them with Crochet and Webb. You're looking at 5-2 Boston, Houston stacks, Boston, Colorado, 5-2s, Boston, Milwaukee, 5-2s, Boston, San Francisco, 5-3s, Milwaukee, Boston, Boston, Milwaukee. So, okay, there you go. I mean, if there's one thing that very evident here, it is Boston seems to be the ideal fit if you are getting to a crochet lineup with Logan Webb. Boston is in all of those in some capacity. And of those 8, that means, so what? 5%, a little more than 5% of our 150 have crochet and Webb. It's not crazy. Take a look at the top stacks tool here as well. And by the way, you guys ever want to get access, for those of you who are sticking long haul through MLB going into the season, DM me, shoot me a DM if you want a code. I'm still getting them. People still DMing me at Loughy_D. My handle's right there under the screen. You'll see it bottom left. Say, hey, I watched the show. Can I get a code? A lot of people DMing me for the NFL codes. We'll have one soon. If we have data up by today, we will have an NFL discount code tomorrow. Of course, the smartest thing you could do is just sign up with any of our sportsbook partners with that link in the description. See where it says join any sportsbook in the description, get Stokastic Sims free? See that? All you got to do. 4 simple steps. As long as you click claim offer, make your minimum $5 or $10 deposit, take a screenshot of your welcome email and your first settled bet and email those to us at support@stokastic.com. Excuse me. It's 5-minute total process. That's all you got to do. You get a free month of whatever you want. You want NFL? You got it. That includes the Sims. If you sign up on 4 of these books, you could stack 4 months of NFL, literally run throughout the entire season with $5 or $10 minimum deposits on all of these, whereas you'd be paying upwards of like $600+ for the entire 4 months of that otherwise. Pretty sweet. Yeah. We got a lot going on right now, man. If you guys are trying to get in on, are any of you guys in, like I'm in Pennsylvania, which sucks because, I mean, it's actually not bad, all things considered, but I can't play college football. And I used to love college football DFS. Genuinely one of the most fun things out there is college football DFS. Hands down, right? I love playing it. And then they removed it back in like 2015 or 2016, something like that, which truly blows. And I don't really know why they did, but they like, I can't play pick'em, but I can bet. There's really no limitations for betting. There's no limitations for best ball, any of that stuff for DFS. Yet somehow I don't have college football DFS, which sucks. Anyway, if you do have access to it, we've got a promo for that as well. See, we got you guys covered across the board. 30% off college football monthly packages. And if you know anything about Matt Gajewski, this dude lives and breathes college football. He does all of the projections and everything for that. And we have the Sims for it as well. If you use code SCORE, you got 30% off the entire month of any college football monthly packages with code SCORE. Last one here, because we got a lot for you guys heading into football. 10% off any NFL annual package with promo code BIRD. I know this isn't for everybody, but it's the best. It's actually the best, you know, when you're talking about just like raw savings, you're not going to get a better one than this. It's the entire year of NFL core or monthly, 10% off of that. It's already discounted. Now we're tacking the 10% on code BIRD right there. So a lot of ways you guys can play it if you'd like. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. You know where to find me. So let's take a look at the stacks here. Bring in Josh, home run roulette. We got 2 more days of this. I'm thinking if I end up doing the NFL show tomorrow and I'm not on this, I'll jump on to the end and we'll reverse order this to close out the MLB home run roulette. It makes the most sense to me. All right, so your top stacks in the top stacks tool right now. Houston against Freeland, pretty spread out. You've got, if you include St. Louis here, you have 6 of 10 teams between 10 and 17%. Milwaukee against Krismat. Boston against Cade Povich, even though we have a lot of him today, it is a pretty bad Boston lineup. Arizona against Quintana. Pittsburgh against Michaelis. The funny thing is, I don't love any of them. Like, if you told me, hey, Colorado ended up having a great day against Alexander, I'd go, okay. St. Louis against Ashcraft. None of these stacks really stand out. I mean, obviously, Houston looks the best on paper. I think that's fair to say. Houston looks the best today. And I think we should all want to get to some of Houston. No doubt. Pretty decent team, slightly above average across the board against lefties. So we'll take it. Kyle Freeland's no good. Better away from home, but still no good. Take a look at our stack exposures. Let's see if we're really heavy on anybody. Milwaukee. Okay. Milwaukee, and then we've got a decent amount of Cubs against Logan Webb. That's clearly just a leverage play. Houston against Freeland, some Boston against Povich, but not as much as the field. Where's the field out here? Houston, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Boston. Oh, look at that. Look how tight this ownership grouping is among these 4 teams. Houston, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Boston. And then even 10% St. Louis, Arizona, 10%. Even the Rockies at 9%, 8% San Francisco. There's nothing really definitive here that separates one team from the other. Take a look at exposure caps. When you do this, you go into the Sims tool. If you wanted to see what your actual exposures are, 3, 4, and 5 mans combined. So you have Milwaukee's clearly far and away our most exposed stat. Houston's still 25%, so we are getting a lot there. This is the surprising one. 23% Chicago against Webb. Again, really just a leverage spot here. Chicago getting the second lowest ownership. Only team getting less ownership than them is Baltimore against Garrett Crochet. And we have 5% total Baltimore stacks. Looking at our individual bats here, my guess is we have some value plays that are going to try and open some things up for us. It only makes sense given that we have 60+% Crochet, even 25% Webb. Collins is sub 4. Frelick is 4K. Yelich, a lot of Milwaukee. 1, 2, 3 exposure to Milwaukee bats. PCA at 27%. Tucker at 17. Where's the value? We got to have a couple cheap bats in here, right? Pena's 53. There you go. Monasterio 25%. Or 27% at 2,500. Trillo 3K. Tovar 3,200. Caleb Durbin 3,400. There you go. Correa, Matt Shaw. Bryce Trang 45. Dubon's 3K. Walker, Vaughn, 42, 37. So yeah, none of these, Horwitz is 36. None of these guys are actually expensive. Some of them, but I'm saying a lot of our most exposed players. Contreras is 30%. He's 5,100. Makes sense. You're just going to have to get some of those guys. All right. So let's go ahead. Bring in Joshua Ingram and home run roulette. I believe I still have the lead here. Rants, hate when I have to rerun Sims because of late scratches. Yeah, and when you get that, and if you have lineups that aren't out yet, look, obviously I'm just giving you the direction right now. Okay, so Trillo not starting. Fair enough. This updated 3 minutes before I started the show. That's going to happen. I'm not going to rerun it, mid-show. Not right now. We're late enough into it. I think you guys already have a pretty good general idea of where we're headed here. Povich, Crochet, Webb, a little bit of Imanaga there, 15%. Stack exposure, like we said. A lot of Milwaukee against Arizona. That won't change. Chicago, believe it or not. But Houston, A lot of 3 and 4 man Houston. We have 8% 3, 4, and 5 man Houston stacks. Some Boston, but not as much as you'd think against Povich because we're getting Povich, believe it or not. And that's where we're at. Anyway, Josh Ingerman filling in for me the past couple of days. Appreciate you, man. I mean, I guess, you know what? It doesn't hurt to start getting some reps in, given that this is all yours coming up.
Dude, not only did I get reps in, but I was at my peak. I crushed the past few days. Absolutely impeccable analysis for back-to-back shows.
Which is awesome. You know what sucks, though?
Surprised they brought you back.
Well, the thing that's tough is that people are going to expect that standard from you, and it's it's totally unsustainable. So I remember Remember we started the perfect lineup and you couldn't stop yapping, and then all the wheels fell off. So, but in fairness, I am glad that was the case because we helped somebody take down the main event, which is awesome.
Right here, this guy.
Here's the truth, though. He wouldn't have been here had it not been. He wouldn't have even known you were here on the planet.
No, he started watching in 2018 when I started.
Know.
It was incredible.
I know. I actually know that. But no, I mean, the fact that someone took down a main event and finished 5th is absolutely awesome, man. Absolutely awesome.
So sick. Absolutely, very awesome.
Anyway, how you feeling? You got 2 days left, huh?
I do. I'm feeling great. I'm excited to get the hell out of this country for a couple days.
Where are we at on the leaderboard?
So technically this middle one is correct. I can make that bigger. Hold on. But I have to change the date bucketing. It just does the 14, like the 2 week stretch on its own. So I'll just fix that before, but this is up to date through our most recent picks. You still lead 13.7 points. I've got 8.3, chat at 7.55. Chat did get their pick correct for the last time that we did this on the 21st of August, which was a full 7 days ago now. Nick Kurtz got the homer.
That's right. And he was the only one. They went with some pretty short odds there. If I remember correctly, he was like plus 260 or something. So
plus 230. I took Braxton Fulford, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is.
Bellinger didn't hit, but here's how it goes. We spin the wheel. Somebody in chat who types Dinger right now, and we will select it within the next minute. Type Dinger in chat, send it. We'll have the opportunity to be the chat participant today, not only with the ability to maybe come back. It's a tough one. You need something big over the coming days, but it's possible. And rally for your boys and possibly girls in chat. Potentially have a great giveaway at the end of the week, but also put yourself in a position where you could be collecting a free week or month of the Sims or Portfolio EV, whichever one you may choose. Josh and I spin the wheel. We have to bet our homer depending on the criteria. And if one of us wins, well, the other has to do something. It won't be anything crazy, mostly bragging rights, but maybe you'll buy me lunch one day or something like that when I inevitably take this down.
We're going to have to check off a couple things. I'm going to have to go. We'll go out one day somewhere random where they don't care about hygiene, and I'll get a lip tattoo. I'll buy you lunch. I'll handle all of this bullshit.
Perfect. Is that what it was? It was a hygiene thing why they wouldn't do the lip?
Definitely when we were calling around Chicago, that was still kind of like COVID-y. So no one had any interest in being in anybody's mouth.
True.
Yeah. So
we'll
figure it out eventually. Look, Jordan called a lot of
did he?
parlors. Yeah.
What sucks the most, and for those of you wondering, Josh and I had a lip tattoo bet. Like, at this point, you're talking 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
It was whatever All-Star break happened before we went to Chicago.
Chicago was 2022,
so it was like January or February of 22.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I lost the chip bet. I mean, I've lost every single one of them. It's been brutal.
You're going to lose that Zion bet, too.
That's going to end up being a push. You just don't remember it correctly.
You said that he was going to be within 5 years All NBA.
Right. And we had caveats for him being like a fat piece of shit that doesn't get to play enough. Now it's impossible because like when we did it, they didn't have the 65 game rule.
My whole reason was because he was fat.
Yeah, but I agreed. Like it was never going to be about play. Like if he were able to carve out enough time to be on the floor, that's the kind of player he is. And I stand by that still. He'll never play 65 games. So it's completely gone. It'll
Yeah. It's kind of a
he'll
shame.
never qualify now.
Kind of
he's fucking great.
A unicorn player, you'll never get to see it really materialize. Anyway, let's make it happen. Do you want to pick someone from chat?
Sure. Chat's representative for today is Einsteinium.
Hey, is that his first win?
I don't have a clue.
I think it is. And he's always been here hanging out. So congrats to Einsteinium. We'll spin the wheel for you, Einsteinium. You will, as you know, have 3 minutes to make a selection based on the criteria. Let's see it, brother. What do we got?
It's a lot of green.
Oh, that's
a lot of green.
Very nice wheel.
Though, to be fair, chat needs some help. So,
right.
Remember this.
Right. So even if you have green, you're hoping that it allows you to go longer odds, but pick the ones you want.
Correct. Here it comes. Foreign-born player, which I don't think we've ever had so far.
Yasiel Puig.
Yes. So non-American birth. Everything else is on the table.
Okay. That should be pretty easy.
Yeah. 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 Should do all right here.
That's like if you had a comfortable lead today, you just and I don't even know if they're on the night slate, but you just go with a Shohei Ohtani or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. But you actually
it's
so
it's
all right.
So funny that we can put this on the wheel, but we can never put must be white.
Yeah, that's probably you probably can't. Although, like
You should.
I don't see a problem with it at all. I see no problem with that at all. But
whites only.
Well, I meant on either side. If you were like, has to be
you mean on the wheel?
What?
You mean on the wheel? I got you.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Who cares about that type of stuff? Like, what are we, blind to reality? But yes, I assume some people wouldn't be thrilled about it. But what you're saying is if you yeah, right, it would look bad.
If it just said whites only, it would be horrific.
It would not be good. Yeah. I'm saying the concept of it is funny, where you have to get granular with the dumbest stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's even funnier if you try to do it with like running backs and wide receivers too.
That would actually be awesome. Yeah.
Well, NFL wheel spins. We'll remember that one.
There's some ideas. You got the wheels turning. All right. Speaking of the wheels, spin me.
All right.
Ryan, does Canada count? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, foreign-born. We haven't annexed them yet. We don't have Canada as the 51st state yet. So
they're not the 51st state yet.
No. Puerto Rico does get interesting, but that's besides the point. All right, here we go. This is I reset for you. You're running great today. You only have one like truly awful situation.
Yeah.
So.
All right, 2 home runs. That would just be any random two-leg homer parlay, right?
Yep. Anybody that's a favorite.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna try and stay kind of conservative here.
This is not ideal for me right here. That's because you get anything and I'm in deep shit.
Yeah, if
I'm gonna spin mine. Oh no! Please don't give me the 3 home run.
That would be the greatest thing ever. Come on, spinner.
That and spin twice combine both is also awful.
Oh, you got foreign-born player too?
As well. I'm going to the international streets. Man, I thought it was 3 home runs and I was dead.
Talk about threading the needle, dude. You that could have been so bad. So bad.
Okay, Einsteinium's trying to take Jeremy Pena. I believe we're confirming that he is from the Dominican Republic.
Well, there's a very quick way to reference it. Just go to Baseball Reference.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm saying, like, are we confirming that, or are we just like assuming he sounds like he's from the Dominican?
I'm just saying what chat said.
Okay.
I haven't dug in yet.
I mean, I'm
Jeremy
skeptical.
Pena.
I'm skeptical because his name's Jeremy.
Born September 22nd, 1997 in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. So,
okay,
Jeremy Pena counts. Plus 450.
What's that?
Plus 450.
All right.
All right. Pena in. I got to go to the international streets, and I need to make up 5.4 points. So I need plus 540 at a minimum to tie you if you get yours wrong. Not ideal.
So you need a couple of things. You need to thread the needle here as well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I still got to take a hell of a shot. I don't got to go the whole way, but I got to go pretty much the whole way.
I think I've got mine. I don't want to do anything crazy here. But let me just check something real quick. Okay. That's kind of wild. Cal Quantrill has pretty wild reverse power splits.
Are you looking that direction?
Yeah, I was actually thinking Trey. Wind's blowing out in Philly today. You know what? I might go Real Muto. Realmuto's been on a bit of a heater lately. That might be fun. I mean,
I kind of like where you're going here. I got to be honest.
Against Quantrill?
Just going to the Phils.
Yeah, good weather. I mean, you're talking not hot, but wind's blowing out 11 miles per hour. Give me. Actually, do you have one? I want to check one more thing here.
I have mine. No, I don't. Shit, I forgot what my qualifications were, and this guy's definitely a white, or at least an American.
What were you, just picking random people?
Well, I was just kind of looking for. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Nope, I'm very right. I was just looking for long odds, so I landed on somebody first, and that's not going to work for me. But I got a different direction I can go.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, this is hard.
Harder than you thought it would be?
Yeah.
All right, here's a fun one. I'm going Nick Castellanos at plus 475.
In my mind, I was immediately just like, dude, I think he's from the United States.
Yeah. How about this? Quantrill has a 12% strikeout rate versus righties this year. 23% against lefties. 1.96 home runs per nine to righties. I like this Castellanos spot at plus 475. Love it.
Oh, I keep getting American-born players.
Lock me in.
Everybody I search for, American. Kyle
Schwarber's from Denmark. Go Schwarber.
No, he isn't. No. Can we go with the assumption that Texas isn't technically a state? Can we do that?
I'm afraid not. No.
No? All right. I think I know where I'm going. The problem for me is that it's not enough, and it's going to require me to have to get 2, and that's my issue. I want to take Ozzy Albies, but he's plus 500. And that's like, that leaves me 0.4 back, which means I just have to get a home run correct tomorrow. That's the problem here, that I have to find a foreign-born player that's also plus 550 or higher. So I'm not in the interest of the fact that we have 90 seconds. Ozzy Albies.
Okay. Ozzy Albies. What are the
plus
odds?
500. I'm going to refresh this on the off chance that I can get lucky in the odds refresh.
I'm going to tell you something, man. I actually like that a lot. And the reason, well, I'm going to tell you why. Because Aaron Nola, when things begin to unravel, it all comes by way of the home runs. Every single. Yeah. So I actually like, if I were looking for longer odds stuff, to me, yeah, I'm going to Atlanta here, because when I'm telling you, when Nola, when things go wrong for him, it's just all home runs. So I actually think that's pretty good. You need something longer odds. Nola's a good pitcher, but it's a favorable hitter's park. Winds are blowing out, and he can just unravel quickly.
There isn't a line bigger than plus 540 for Albies out there, so I feel a little bit better there. 277 x WOBA, or sorry, x ISO to lefties for Nola this year.
Wow.
277. He's given up a 403 x WOBA to lefties.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And if you add in last year, that's 2,300 pitches and a 190 x ISO.
Yeah, man. I know it's a good spot. Steven says Schwarber was born in Ohio, dude. Oh, thanks. Come on, man. Jake DeWitt, Denmark, also not part of the USA yet. Yeah. I believe Trump was targeting Greenland first, but
yes,
maybe Denmark's on the list. Anyway, you guys are the best. If this is my last MLB strategy show, you're in good hands with Josh here. I would be back for roulette anyway tomorrow, one way or another, just to pop in.
Yeah.
But it would also mean that if we have the data for week 1, that we would also have an NFL week 1 strategy show, Sims show, you name it, tomorrow as well. So make sure you got notifications on here.
You think you're going to go at 10 or 12 tomorrow? I guess probably 10. No, 12's obviously not happening.
Why? Oh, right. So 10. Yeah, it would be probably 10 Eastern, which is fine.
Okay. And if you want to flip those, if we want to have that conversation later, we can. We'll figure that out on the call.
Keep the status quo, probably. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, guys. Good luck today. We do have a live before lock tonight as well. Should be Greg and Eric as always. And we'll see you back here tomorrow to close out the week. Bye-bye.